What loophole did you exploit 4 years before someone found out? I used to live in an apartment across the road from a casino whilst at university. They released an app where if you check in you get points that go towards free food and drinks. Because I was close enough to the casino I could just check in without going to the casino itself. Every Saturday I used to get a free burger, fries and drink and watch sport in the sports bar. They eventually scrapped the app. It was awesome considering I was a broke uni student. I had a somewhat similar one. I worked in a renovated office building that had casino on first floor. Every month they would send me a promo pack that included $5 free plays. So periodically I'd go to lunch, put the $20 down on roulette red black, and if I won take the $20 and leave. Went on for around a year before they stopped sending me coupons. Was living near attending our local university. While working full-time in an economy in the midst of a recession I barely had enough money to pay the bills, let alone eat. Where I live is very well known for its tourist industry casinos, so I had quite a few friends who worked in it would tell me about these massive employee luncheon cafeterias. At that time there were no ID cards or lanyards to be scanned or checked. All you needed was to find it, be dressed appropriately to the employer's dress code. After my friend I did a dry run on one of those trips. In order for me to find it without getting lost I would go it alone. For almost 3 years I had lunch dinner for free, learning the peak service times, the dead zones. Even got along with some of the cafeteria workers and custodial crews. Circle 880s. You could make a long distance collect call from a payphone and charge it to a private number. The operator would call the other number to confirm. We'd ask the operator to call the number of another payphone nearby and have a friend authorize the call. Free long distance for almost a year. I used to work at a grocery store and we had this era of the steak discounts. Hundreds of coupons for $5 off a steak were just everywhere for some reason. I found out that if I used the self-checkout and bought a steak that was less than $5 while using the coupon, the machine would give me back the difference in change. I ate dozens of free steaks and filled my change jar up nicely. At my current apartment complex, they just changed the laundry machines, so you need to use this super shitty slow app. I found out if you press start on the app and start on the machine and then back out of the app while it's chatting with the machine will start but won't charge any money. Been washing and drying for free for a few months. App name is similar to Small GS or Small Payments. Arby's used to have a take a survey on the back of the receipt and get a free roast beef sandwich. But when I got the free one, I got a receipt then too. I bought one sandwich, got literally dozens for free over the course of a year or so. I managed a BK in high school and they had a similar free sandwich with survey on receipt. That wasn't a loophole. It was intentional. Most people who would come in feeling smart for their free sandwich would grab a drink or other item. You'd be shocked how much restaurants make on soda. The margins are 500%. Local casino issued a $20 free play coupon in the newspaper with no expiration date. I talked to the newspaper delivery guy and asked him about that copy and he told me he's got hundreds of them in the van as they were a few days old now. I got all of them, clipped out the coupons and proceeded to make $19.50 every day after work for around 500 or so days. Not quite years, but pretty damn close. The casino never printed a coupon without expiration, one per customer rules ever since. The thing we clocked in on when I worked at Kmart would round to the closest quarter hour. So by clocking in 8 minutes early and clocking out 8 minutes after my shift, I got paid for 30 minutes rather than for the 16 minutes. By exploiting this, I was paid 2.5 hours of overtime a week, cumulatively. During my time there, this added up to about 6.5 weeks of extra pay. I wasn't ever caught, though. When I was a kid there was a payphone down the street that if you put your quarter in, made a call but no one answered, it would give you back to quarters. Went there all the time and called home when I knew no one was there to answer. Worked out how to get the jackpot every time on a Connect 4 fruit machine in a pub I used to drink in. It would cost about £5.10 before you get into the bonus round. Then when you did, you'd play a Connect 4 game against the machine. You place the first counter, and then after the machine places the next counter, you mirror the machine's move. Every game ends in a draw, and you win the jackpot, which was £50. The pub landlord removed the machine after around 3 months as it was regularly empty. Basically paid for my drinking and more for 3 months. Used to work at Starbucks like 7 years ago, and they used to print these receipts where if you filled out a survey it would give you a 6-digit code which you could then exchange for a free drink. However, when you gave in the receipt with the code, we would just toss it in the garbage and then give the free drink. So over a shift I would just keep all the survey receipts when people didn't want them, write random numbers on them, then keep a wallet full of free coffee. Since I already got tons of free drinks, I would give them to homeless people and explain it was good for a free coffee. Probably gave away like 100 free drinks. In high school, our PE grade was based on improvement. We took a skills test at the beginning and another at the end, and your grade was based on how much you improved. So, once I learned that, I always sucked at the first test and ended miraculously better at the second. So I had a massive improvement and thus, a better grade. One of my college roommates had a younger brother in high school. Their pay grade was partially based on their improvement on their mile times. He was a track runner and started out with a mile time in the low 4 minutes. Crazy fast. Got a B in pay because he couldn't improve his time by much. Got keys to a new flat on a Friday afternoon. The place had electric but it wasn't in my name. Went to the electric company just before closing and the lady said, "Flat 8 you say? We only have record of 7 flats on that building. Tell you what, glances at the clock. Come back Monday with the serial number on your meter and we'll get you all hooked up." I never went back and enjoyed free electric for over 2 years until I moved out. I went to a sporting goods store and they asked me for my phone number when I was paying. I was in a bad mood and didn't want to fight with the clerk, so I told them our local area code 555-1212, which is the old number for directory assistance. Clerk accepted it and I left. When I checked my receipt I had a huge number of loyalty points because apparently a ton of other people did the same thing. I called the office the next day and switched the account to my new address. A half dozen times over the next few years, I went and got free stuff with all the points that I kept racking up as one of their most loyal customers. Still ongoing. Thanks to the charge card I was granted top tier elite status with a hotel chain. I downgraded 6 years ago but the status remained. The hotel chain went through a merger, but since I had retained the status for over 10 years I was given lifetime top status in the new program that was created. My family used to go to this campground in the summer and rent a little cabin for like a week. In the main building there was a little arcade, mostly older games, and a football table, and an air hockey table. What most people didn't know was the air hockey table was broke. If you put quarters in, you could push the plunger to start the machine and then get your quarters back if you did it just right. A couple of years in a row were super fun because me and one other kid that knew would keep air hockey going for the entire time. The arcade would be filled with kids who would often play other games while waiting their turn at air hockey. They must have found out after a few years though, because one year we went back and it was fixed. The arcade was also a complete ghost town, and the campground made no money off it after that. That's when I fully realized and understood the concept of a loss leader at like 13 years old. So the two of you handed out the cheat code for a profit, right? Like a backroom dealer kind of thing. "Hey kid, for 25 cents I'll let you play air hockey for free, but you can't tell anyone else, wink wink." My old job I worked at a pretty large gym. Gold level, like the 3rd highest level. Monthly fee was $79 for the gold membership, but employees got a free diamond membership. Worked there for a year and a half before I quit, but my account was never deactivated. Been going there for a while completely free. Still not found out. Diamond membership is like $200 a month. When Lyft first came out, they were giving away free rides up to like $20-$30 if I remember correctly. All you had to do was refer a friend. So me and my college roommate just made a few email address, and somehow my free rides glitched and I just kinda had free rides for the year. When I was in college they had this deal where if you signed up for a free trial of Netflix you could get a $10 gift code for Papa John's. They didn't even ask for a credit card back then, just an email. So I would just make new email addresses to use and would get a code every time. Not only did I get free Netflix for a while, but I also got a lot of free pizza. I had a killer racket in school where I would buy the graduating class's used textbooks for like $5 and then sell them to a third-party bookseller in the next town over who would pay me between $25 $30 for each one. Eventually people started asking questions and others figured out the deal. I had a similar experience. My school textbook store was required to buy books back at 50% of what they sell them for. However, they don't have to be bought from the textbook store in order to be bought back. I'd buy cheap used books from Amazon for $5.10 and see back to the campus bookstore for $15.50 depending on the book. Still going on and a great way to turn a quick profit each semester. One week the local Chick-fil-A put a coupon in a local coupon magazine flyer which was buy one, get one free, any item on the menu. Next to that coupon they had a 50% off any menu item. I carefully checked, and neither coupon mentioned cannot be combined with any other offer anywhere on it. So I ran out to the local grocery store and grabbed a stack of these flyers. Sure enough, the next week the offer was gone. But it was too late to stop me. I spent almost 2 years as a grad student living almost exclusively off of 128 count nugget platters that I would get for 25% of the cost. First half off, second free. Place went under new management and they put up a sign saying they would no longer be accepting those coupons. Not entirely sure if that was due solely to me or if anyone else was pulling the same thing. I had about 20 coupon pairs left when they shut it down. I had a similar thing with my friend and canned tuna. We were shopping after our gym visit and came across some incredibly cheap tuna, not even on sale. I think an ordinary can cost something like $1.50, but this was like 30 cents. So naturally we bought like 30 cans each on multiple occasions and a few weeks later the price had gone up to something like $1.30 instead. I'd like to believe we were the culprits of that.